So welcome back to another video, my friends at Max Programming, and in this video we'll be talking about how you can set up a TypeScript vanilla project using the Parcel bundler. And I've been not that active on this channel for a long time just because of my examinations, so I've been preparing for that, and that's why the videos have become so late. So let's get to it. It's very simple. Now if you don't know what is Parcel, what is a bundler, Parcel is just a bundler that, as you can see in this gif or whatever, that every file of yours will be put inside of kind of a box, okay, and it will actually bundle all of them, and it will just make the production ready applications with the help of Parcel. Okay, so that's how you create production ready applications. You can use vanilla JavaScript also there, and that also helps, and Parcel is very fast. So and we're going to set up a TypeScript project, so you just need to use TypeScript if you want to use TypeScript, right, in a vanilla HTML CSS project. So let's take a look at how we can basically use it. Now you can go to the documentation, and so we also have Parcel version 2, which is still in beta, but we are going to use the Parcel version 1, which is the Parcel bundler. So the first thing we will do is, so inside of our terminal, what I'm going to do is I have created a folder where I can show you how to work with it. So the first thing we're going to do is open it in Visual Studio Code. So just use code dot, and that will open up Visual Studio Code in the current folder. Now inside of this terminal, now the first thing we need to do is initialize the package.json file. So we can just say npm init -y, hit enter. So that will initialize the package.json file that you see right over here. Okay, all of our dev dependencies will go right over here. And yeah, once that is done, what we can do is we can just install some dependencies. So first of all, we can just say npm I and then add -d flag if as we want them as dev dependencies. Okay, so they should not be available in production. So for the development, we want the Parcel bundler, the first one, and then TypeScript. We also need TypeScript, and it's because if TypeScript is not installed on someone else's computer, they would need it, right? Hit enter, and that will install Parcel bundler and TypeScript, and I'm using npm. You can also use yarn if you want. It's up to your choice. So once it is installed, you will see a node modules folder and a package log.json file. Now once these are done, what we can do is we can just create a new folder called src or source, or you can name whatever you want, and then we can create index.html file and also another file if you want. So it's going to be app.ts. okay, so we use ts. Now we are using TypeScript, so we need the the compiling and all that errors inside of our editor. So we need a tsconfig.json file. Oops. So to get that file, you can just say tsc-init. okay, and for that you need TypeScript installed globally for the tsc command, and that will create a tsconfig json, which we don't want to touch. Okay, and that's it. Now you can write your HTML code just like this, and let's say hello Parcel, and now you can say script src, and that you can just say /app.ts. so you can actually add the script with the ts extension, and that's also one of the cool things about Parcel. So you link that, and now you want to fill this app.ts. so let's add some content. I'm just simply going to add an h1 tag. I'm going to give it an ID of heading, so like this, and I'll say heading just like that, and I'll add a button and I'll give it an ID of btn. Okay, and if you don't know what I'm doing, I'm just using emit, and so that will create me that will create this kind of button, and then I will have just click me. Okay, so our HTML is hopefully done, and now we can go to the TypeScript. So first of all, let's just console.log hello world. Okay, nothing more, just console log hello world. And now we can add some scripts. So adding some scripts is also very important, because it's not important that the user will have Parcel bundler also installed globally. So let's remove this test script. First script I'll add is dev. Okay, to start the development server, and it's simply Parcel, and then you have to point to the HTML file that you have. Okay, so that's source slash index.html. Okay, it's inside of the source folder, and then you go to index.html. So it's going to just serve that file in development, and the next script is going to be build, and it's also pretty much the same one. The only difference is, so let me just copy this, the only difference is that the build comes in between the path and Parcel. Okay, so you got all these two things done, and now hit save, and now let's just start the dev server. So you don't need to do something like open with live server. That's going to cause some problems because you don't have the TypeScript functionality there. So you have to use the Parcel's development server, and that's also pretty fast. I'll show you right now. So CLS, and then you can just say npm run dev, because we created the dev script, and hit enter, and you will see the magic of Parcel. So source index.html, it says server running in 2 seconds at localhost 1234. You got the heading, the h1, and you got the click me button. Nothing happens when you click it, but if I go ahead and inspect, what you'll see in the console is the hello world, and you also see the source map like app.ts. When you are in development, when you face any errors, you can go to the sources tab, and then you can check all of these files. So you got the hello world from TypeScript, and now you can just change the files and play around with it. So let's just do some TypeScript work. So first of all, we'll select both of these things. So it's going to be heading, and that will be equal to document dot get element by id, and the id is heading. We can say as HTML heading element, not heading element, and then you say btn is going to be equal to document dot get element by id, and that's btn as HTML button element. So you got those things, and you also got the types like this, okay, for these things. And then I can just say btn dot on click is going to be equal to a function. Now TypeScript is very if you just set that to 5, that's not going to allow you to do that, because type 5 is not assignable to all of these things. Okay, so you have to pass in a function inside of this on click, and that's the power of TypeScript that JavaScript does not have, I'm gonna be honest. So now on click, you just want to say heading dot inner text is going to be equal to true, and you see how TypeScript gave me an error when I said it's going to be true. So true is a boolean in true is boolean, false is boolean, so you cannot set the inner text. So type boolean is not assignable to type string, so you need to add a string in the inner text, because it's of type string. So it must be a string. So you add a string, and then text changed. Hit save. So when you click this button, it's going to change the text. So if I go back to the browser, you'll see nothing. We will not see anything in the console, but when I click this button, you will notice that the text has been changed. So all of that is going to be TypeScript. So you can write the TypeScript code without any hassle of setting up everything. It's just very simple. Now when it comes to building it, that's also very simple. So we can just get out of this development server, and we can, the first thing you need to do is you need to delete the cache and the dist folders that you currently have if you want to build it for the production. And also if you're deploying it to somewhere and you want to use git, so the first thing you need to do is add the .gitignore file, and in that file you need to ignore node modules first of all, because that's not what you want to push it on git. The second thing is the dist and the .cache. So these are the things you don't need, you don't have to push on at git. So you can just initialize the repository, and you can see these are ignored. Now you can just delete permanently these 3 folders. Okay, has too many active changes. I did something very bad, so I deleted the gitignore. Okay, so the gitignore is back and you have the node modules ignored, and that's fine. Okay, so now you just say npm run build, because we added the build command also, and that will be basically building your whole web application to a final production ready application. So this dist folder contains all of your production stuff. Now you cannot just open with live server or open it locally, and that's not going to work. So you need to use something called serve. So first of all, let's just say npm i-d serve. Okay, so it's gonna be like that. So you first need to install serve, and serve is just, it will start a server that where you can actually view your production ready applications. So we installed serve, and let's add a new serve script, and that's basically serve-s serve-s, and you need to point to the dist folder. That's it. So it will find the index.html file inside of this dist folder, and just say npm run serve. I don't know if Parcel has its own serve command, but that starts this, and you see heading, and click then text changed. If you go ahead and inspect, you go to the sources tab, you will find your TypeScript file also there. So here we go. And that's how you set up TypeScript, vanilla TypeScript with Parcel. You can also add images, and those also will be inside of the dist folder in the end. Okay, I hope this video helped you. If it helped, please like it, share it to others, and finally, thanks for watching.